Let's discuss the plus minus. Democratic strategist Antoine C. Wright, journalist, commentator Scotty Nell Hughes, true conservative, joins us live from CPAC, the mothership. Good to have you both. Scotty, help me understand something first before we get into the policy, okay? You would not let me say things that you had already told me once were untrue. If you heard me say something untrue, you'd call me and say, Chris, I told you that is the answer. It is not 6, it's 8. You just said 6 again. Why aren't the people around Trump telling him that about the prices of potential savings and the Social Security numbers? Why are they letting him run a false narrative that undermines confidence in these programs that we all know people need?
Well, people might need them, Chris, but I think we can all know that there is corruption, there's waste that is happening in these programs. And you're right. I would not let you, I would pester you to say the facts. And if I wouldn't, we all know that your staff would before I even said anything. But we don't know exactly the conversations that's happening in the White House between the administration and Donald Trump. But I think, to your point to what you said, if you know it's wrong, why would you purposely keep repeating it? Which makes me think they don't think they're wrong. And so their numbers, according to them, are correct. So until we have anything to disprove it and have that factuals, you kind of have to go with what the president's saying.
No, we don't. Scotty, we both know that we saw that the numbers they were talking about on Social Security are just wrong. And luckily they are wrong, because otherwise we got a problem, because there's a lot of zombies out there. But I'm just saying, I don't know how it gets us to a better place. That's all I'm saying, Scotty. But let's talk policy. So, Antoine, look, here's the trick. It's easy for me to fact check Trump, okay? Nobody's been fact-checked more than he has. Nobody has failed more of those fact checks. He still got elected. What does that tell you? People care more about something else. What is that, and what does it mean for Democrats after these 30 days?
Well, I think what this election taught us that, one, it's easier to vote against something than it is to vote for something. And quite frankly, it's easier to be angry than it is informed. The fact of the matter is Donald Trump has a pattern and a history of not having a relationship with the truth. In my community, we call it lying. In spite of that, in spite of his extreme overreach, in spite of him cutting government to the bone, where America is experiencing bleeding at its core, when you look at agencies that have been cut, the jobs that have been eliminated, and the consequences that will have across the board, it simply means that Democrats have an opportunity and an obligation to step up, hold him accountable, call out his lies, but also offer a reasonable alternative to what
censorship. Censorship. Your light went out, Antoine. Censorship at NewsNation, Scotty. Did you do that? Was he making too good a point for you? So you tried to close him down? Already looked like somebody was holding him hostage against that wall. How do you respond to what he says? He's making salient points.
Well, first of all, Cuomo, I'm not the Biden administration. I don't shut down free speech, is what we saw the past year. But to Antoine's point...
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, okay. To Antoine's point, it's interesting to hear Democrats talk about lying when for the last 4 years we were lied to, saying that the president sitting in the Oval Office was competent and was not suffering any sort of mental incapacitation at times, and yet it was very much apparent to everybody else who were watching their TV. So don't talk to me. Don't preach to the Republicans about lying, Democrats, when you were trying to sell the ultimate lie for the last 4 years. When you talk about, we are trillions of dollars in debt, Chris. What are we supposed to do?
Yes.
Are we supposed to continue to put those trillions of dollars of debt on our children, grandchildren, or great-grandchildren?
No.
Especially if we know this waste is happening in the government. So why don't we hold the government accountable? And that's all that is happening right now.
But Scotty, respectfully, no one has argued that we should assess the budget and weed out waste, fraud, and abuse. No one is disagreeing with that. I think that's bipartisan. Washington Republicans and Democrats agree. But when you fire inspector generals who has that role and responsibility, that means you're very unserious about doing the actual work. When you have an unelected billionaire who does not even understand what a democratic republic means and how it operates and just want to cut in to check a box, I think that's dangerous, because when you cut 1,000 veterans working in that department, when you cut FAA workers, when you cut IRS agents, and the list goes on, you know who that hurts? The people who voted for Trump and the people who did not vote at all, also the people who voted for Kamala Harris for president. So that impacts everyone. America itself functions all because of the government that
All right, I
holds
gotta
it
go.
up. It's not
All
functioning
right, I
in the
gotta go. I got an ambassador I gotta get to because it's the middle of the night for them. We're gonna continue this conversation. Antoine, thank you for dealing with the technical, as always. Scotty, I appreciate you making the case, although I didn't like what you did to Antoine there with the lighting. But I'm gonna forgive it because on one level, I respect the treachery. Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.